The mayor of Japanese city of Osaka has come under fire for his sexist remarks. Ichiro Matsui said that men should do the grocery shopping during the coronavirus pandemic as women are indecisive and take too long. Matsui added that if only men do grocery shopping, that could help contain the spread of COVID-19 as they would spend less time in stores and avoid overcrowding. He said, and I quote, "Women take a longer time in grocery shopping because they browse through different products and weigh out which option is the best. Men quickly grab what they are told to buy so they won't linger at the supermarket," unquote. The mayor made the controversial remarks while addressing the media on Japan's state of emergency. When countered by a reporter, Matsui acknowledged that his remarks might be viewed as outdated but added that they were true in his family. Matsui faced a massive public backlash on social media. Netizens said that his comments reeked of patriarchy and were full of prejudice against women. Japanese society remains male-dominated, despite having a highly educated female population. In fact, Japan was ranked 121 out of 153 nations in the World Economic Forum's most recent gender gap index, primarily because of its poor representation of women in politics. It also has the worst gender gap index among the G7 countries. The death toll in the United States of America due to COVID-19 has surpassed the 50,000 mark. US currently accounts for over 1/4 of the total global death toll. The number of cases in the country are more than Spain, Italy, France, Germany, UK and Turkey combined. However, US President Donald Trump claims that he does not take any responsibility for the 50,000 deaths. Listen.
For these 50,000 deaths that have happened in this country.
I think we've done a great job. As you know, minimal numbers were going to be 100,000 people. Minimal numbers were going to be 100,000 people, and we're going to be hopefully far below that. If we didn't take quick action, you could have lost many millions of people.
Now, this was also the first time the president did not take any questions during the coronavirus task briefing. The country recorded 1,258 coronavirus-related deaths in just the last 24 hours, which is the lowest, however. It is the lowest daily death toll in almost 3 weeks in America. But even as US reels under the pandemic, anti-lockdown protests continued in several states. Hundreds of people took to the streets to protest against the current stay-at-home orders. Nearly 42 US states are currently under strict restrictions.
We should be allowed to go to work because there's many people who aren't able to provide for their families right now. Yes, they recently got $1,200, but that's only going to go so far.
Meanwhile, the state of Georgia is opening up certain businesses, including gyms and salons. Meanwhile, Donald Trump said he thinks it's too soon for Georgia. He expected Governor Kemp to do what is right for his state. Currently, the divide between the states and the Trump administration continues to widen, despite Donald Trump endorsing his early ban on China. New York Governor has now claimed that the first case in the state did not come from China, but arrived from Europe. Cuomo pointed to research from Northeastern University, saying that he believed that the source in New York was actually Italy.
How can you expect that when you act 2 months after the outbreak in China, the virus was only in China, waiting for us to act? The horse had already left the barn by the time we moved. A researcher now says, knowing the number of flights coming into New York from Italy, it was like watching a horrible train wreck in slow motion. Those are the flights that were coming from Italy and from Europe, January and February. We closed the front door with the China travel ban, which was right. Even in retrospect, it was right. But we left the back door open.
But not just mainland China. Navy ships are slowly turning into virus hotspots. The USS Kidd has become the second US Navy ship to be impacted by the outbreak. The first sailor who tested positive has been removed from the ship after displaying symptoms. Now this comes as the cases on aircraft carrier USS Theodore Roosevelt continue to rise. Almost 840 soldiers have tested positive on that aircraft carrier.